What's going on YouTube? This is the second video in my Apple tutorials videos. I wanted to talk briefly, I'm going to try and make this one short, about monitoring what's going on inside your machine. Now I know that some of these videos are going to come off as a little dumb. They're not designed for the professional. They're designed for somebody that's new to Apple that may want to explore certain things about their machine and understand exactly what's going on in the machine. We have a built-in utility that's designed specifically to look at what's going on in the machine. And this one's called Activity Monitor. Now in Activity Monitor, it's going to show you all of the different things that are here that are running. It's going to tell you what user created them or is using them, the process name, the amount of CPU that's being used for them, threads, the amount of memory that they're using in real time, and what kind of process it is, whether it's an Intel 64, regular Intel. You get the idea. Now, of the grouping that I have listed here, there are only 3 that I have real control over, aside from things like my SMC fan control, which is something we'll discuss in another video, and the program that I'm using to record, which is ScreenFlow. I just have the 2 utilities running to show what's going on. Now, Activity Monitor, which is listed here, is using 0.9% of the CPU, 0.8, and it's using 19.2 megabytes of RAM, and it's a 64-bit process. Now, this gives you your amount of what processors are running, and this down here has a couple different tabs to show you exactly what's going on with the rest of the machine. It's very straightforward. The first one is you can use CPU usage, and it tells you percentage of user, system, and what's idle, how many threads and how many processes. And this graph will show you how much of your CPU you're using. As you can see, we're really using none. And here's the memory of the machine. Free space is the amount of RAM that hasn't been accessed yet. Wired is wired RAM. Active is what's actively being used by the machine. And inactive is down here. Now, inactive is RAM that was accessed for a purpose, but then that purpose went away, so it's inactive. It's still there, it's not technically being used, and it can be used for that process once that process comes back up. It tells you your virtual memory size, page in and page outs and swaps used. Then you've got disk activity. You can see data written per second doing its thing. Disk usage, and it gives you your different hard drives and how much is utilized and how much space is free. A little pie chart. And then it gives you your network activity. Now, this is a great little program, and it's built in to your OS X install. It's easy to find. If you go under Applications, find the Utilities folder. It has a wrench and a screwdriver. And once you click on that, you'll come in here, and you will find you have everything from your disk utility and so on to Activity Monitor, Airport Utility, and all these other different things, which are some pretty interesting programs to use, not only to help you understand what's going on with the machine, but to understand how the machine is functioning. So it's easy to find, and it's here. But I wanted to show you another program that I've gotten that I like just as much, probably a little more, because I think it does, in my opinion, a better job of showing you everything in one spot. The one thing that this doesn't show you is temperatures. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to pull up MiStat. Now this is available on the App Store. You can go in and get it. I believe it's $5, was $5. And this shows you everything that Activity Monitor does, which I'll pull that back up, but in a different way. First of all, it looks cooler. It gives you a real-time graph of everything that's going on from your CPU to your memory usage, to your network usage, disk usage, temperatures for all the sensors in the machine, and disk activity, and the processors, which ones are using the most of anything. This is a one-time, you get all the information in one spot, no clicking. You can't really do much here. Nothing is clickable. So it just shows up. It tells you everything from your fan speeds to the temperatures, which is helpful, especially if you're running a machine like a Mac Pro. You can look at things like CPU 1 heatsink, CPU 2 heatsink, drive bays, riser A outgoing, slot A. These are all Mac Pro related, obviously. And then it tells you the core temperatures of the CPUs. Everything. Everything is listed in this one easy-to-use program. And it gives you a visual example of disk usage and how much free space you have on a disk. Sometimes you get these big, massive holes, but you realize that you're only using 20 out of, a 500. And then sometimes you got this little spot, but you realize that there's, 88 free. Or check this one out, video projects. This little spot, it's one of the smallest ones I have, but it's got more space free than this one and this one. And then you can see Boot Camp. It'll even register and watch what Boot Camp is doing. Now, why this type of program is important is if you're having an issue with the machine, if you're watching something take place, if you're designing something in a 3D world, or you're rendering video, or say you work with music using Logic, you can monitor CPU and memory usage so that you can keep tabs on why the machine may be acting up. I found this program, and I've been using it since my 2006 iMac, which was an Intel Core 2 Duo, was working. It definitely helped me to identify problem areas and things I was doing so that I could remedy them or find other ways to do what I needed to do without maxing out the machine and making it useless. Both of these will work just fine. This guy's free, this guy costs money. But for me, because I purchased a Mac Pro, I wanted to know everything that was going on at the same time. So I purchased this program, and it sits off the side on my secondary monitor, and I can reference it at any time and know real time what's going on without concerning myself with this large display area showing me all the different processes of everything that's going on at one time. Because while this is helpful, so is this graph and this graph. You can immediately see if you're using more than 50% of your processor's power on however many processors you have. You can see network in and out, which is great. You can see how much memory you have free and available, or how much is being used by something specific. It's really, really easy to use this program effectively, and I think it's a cleaner look than what Activity Monitor is, even though Activity Monitor will do exactly the same thing as this, minus the different temperature sensors and the visual graph of disk usage. It has a pie chart, but this one's a little bit easier on a whim, just to peek over and know you have the space available. So this concludes our second tutorial, not necessarily a tutorial, but our second look into different Apple tutorials, things to look out for. I love this program, and I recommend it to anybody out there that wants to use their machine in a professional type setting or is using a professional app. You can then monitor everything that's going on at the same time, and it helps keeps you in check. You'll notice if you're editing a video and you're only using a quarter of your RAM versus having 3 or 4 or 5 things open, and now you've got half of your RAM used, you'll notice that, even though you still have some spare reserve left, you still have the ability to check and make sure that what you're using is only what you're using, rather than excess stuff that's going on. You can also use it to monitor CPU usage and how much load is being put on the machine at any given moment. 3D animators know exactly what I'm talking about. The instant you go to render any three-dimensional task, even on this machine, my machine will sit at 99% user usage and will stay there until the rendering is finished. Uses all 8 cores, and everything goes thermonuclear if I don't have the fan speeds turned up. So it's something that's important, in my opinion, if you are using your machine for work or professional usage. It's also something neat that you can check out if you're having a problem with the machine. You can use this to reference the different things that's going on at the same time, and not only see it real time, but monitor over an extended period of time. And it'll give you a better idea of exactly what's going on and why your machine is acting that way. So, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the tips and tricks, if you like what I'm trying to show you here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below asking any questions you may have, and keep checking back. I'll try and get more of these videos out there and give you a little bit of tour of how I use my machine and what my machine does and how capable it is, but also how to make your machine more capable and give you options on how to take care of certain things, from your maintenance to controlling things like your fan speed and other little things that'll help you streamline your machine so that it works the best that it possibly can and stays relevant for as long as it possibly can. So until next time, thanks for watching and have a great day.